JedtheSloth, the MILF Hunter. How your mom and them? And you're tuned in to the Playbaw podcast, episode 5. Got my first guest tonight. It is a gentleman that I met years ago at the Mid-City Ballroom back in the day. Back before it was probably all cool looking even. I remember, I don't remember the exact reason why I was there, but I was either there for someone else's show or one of my shows. I think it was someone else's show, which we did a lot in those days. Correct. And every single person in that building, there was just like buku, like high school kids sitting on the ground.
Okay, that was Shrugs. They're a Lafayette band.
That's right.
They opened for us.
That's right. It was Shrugs. I sampled Shrugs in a beat.
Awesome.
That never came out.
Cool.
Yeah, people who don't. I mean, are they still a band?
No, my friend Austin was in that band actually, bass player. Shout out Austin. Yeah.
Dude, Shrugs was the wave.
Yeah, Shrugs was beautiful music. They played at Bloomfest too. If you.
I
think I bought a shirt from you at Bloomfest.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
That was probably the best part of that experience for me because the actual festival was not great. We can get into that, but Shrugs, man, I gotta go look. I gotta go on Bandcamp after this or something. Go listen to some Shrugs. But y'all did your band, Mr. San Francisco. That was a great name for what that band was.
Yeah, it was. It was. I think half of the thing with music is getting the name right or something, man.
You know, I've heard all sorts of different things. I'm 33, man.
Okay.
So I know I'm a good deal. We're different generations, but I've always been able to link with like these Gen Z representatives and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So I don't know where I was going with my age there, but like I've heard a lot of things. I've heard it all in the music industry, and one of those things is, you gotta have a one-word name. You gotta have this name, that name, but like. I just think it needs to accent what you're gonna hear and see.
Like
and
D'Angelo.
Exactly.
Erykah Badu, like.
Exactly. Like you know what you're getting into. Like,
yeah.
Erykah Badu, like I'm really shocked if it's like a metal band, you know.
Right.
So
exactly.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So Mr. San Francisco, man, y'all had to been young. You had to been young.
I was 16.
Wow.
I'm 22, so we're both on the double numbers.
That's right.
Or as the superstitious call it, angel numbers.
Okay, I was going to say, what does that mean? For those of you who don't know.
The angel numbers is just, oh my God, I see 333. It's just part of superstition that people can put in their day that I see people give a lot of weight to, but I don't really know about all that.
But you're a creative person, so you pick up on that kind of stuff.
I'm more likely to I look at license plates, and sometimes there'll be like chord structures on license plate, like DFA, like D minor chord. That's what I look for.
Man's out here in the middle of his day, like right before lunch, 7th chord.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, didn't see that coming, but okay, I guess it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mr. San Francisco, man, that was like, I remember I remember a moment watching you guys play. Actually, I think I was watching you guys play at Atomic Pop Shop.
Yes.
Real ones know.
Yes.
That thing has been so many things in my lifetime, that building. What is now BRK.
Yeah.
It was Atomic Pop Shop around when I come back, 2015, 2016, 2017-ish. Mm-hmm. And it was a record store in the front, party in the back. You know, and like people could play shows and stuff, and it was very intimate set up. And one day, Mr. San Francisco playing another show there, and I remember it was me and Zach who did Baton Rouge Sucks podcast.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there, we're both standing there, and everybody's just kind of, Mazzy storing it.
Yo.
And I remember leaning over to him and going, "These kids have no clue that they're making heroin music."
Yeah, I remember you. Yeah,
I had to told you that.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I wonder what it is about. I don't even want to get into that whole subject about the heroines, but
it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
it's all fentanyl now.
Or lean.
Yeah.
Get that lean gut.
But nonetheless, y'all were playing very chill music that was still
beautiful.
powerful. Yeah.
So the guy I do music with now is the brother of the singer of that band, actually. So.
And didn't you have a sibling in the band?
Huh? Yeah, my older sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're best friends, and Sam and I they were best friends. Sam and I are like really tight now because we do everything together. We throw the shows together. We do music together. So. Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
the other member in Neo Soul
Mm-hmm.
wasn't Mr. San Francisco.
He wasn't.
Oh, he was. He
was
wasn't.
too young.
Oh, so he's even younger.
Yeah, he's like 19. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's why I wanted to get you on this because like, I mean, from my appearance. Okay, so like, we were talking about before this started. 2018, 2019 was like popping.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And then like it seemed like an Old Testament, New Testament sort of thing. Like I'm out the loop, since COVID, and it seems like it's you and your crowd got a chokehold on things right now, at least from the underground perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And what y'all are doing is very cool, grassroots. Kind of reminds me of, I don't know, elements of things I've seen before, but its own thing,
Yeah, it was to disrupt a lot of like the photo op vibe that happens at like Taco Tuesday or whatever. I'm gonna name drop because fuck it, they steal my swag anyway. But yeah, and it's just so photo op-y and no one wanted to dance, and so I just wanted to like kind of disrupt everything, and I did that, made some enemies recently, but we're here and we're talented.
Yeah, it's Baton Rouge, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing I can speak. Being through it years now, growing up here and then moving to New Orleans and coming back. Like I definitely understand what you mean.
Yeah.
And to everybody out there, he don't mean like nothing bad about it. It's just the way it is. Sometimes it's a small city, so
personality will always bubble to the top. So
Yeah.
if you have a place that's bubbling with freedom of expression, then like you got it,
Yeah, you're always gonna have not everybody's gonna fit all in the same box.
No, never.
So I mean, I know what you're talking about. Nonetheless, something we didn't have before quarantine we got now. Shout out, Yes We Cannibal.
Amazing.
What has been described to me as non-transactional venue. So you don't pay anything to book it, you don't pay anything to attend. So it's this truly creative space, and you've been able to take very good, you've made use of that.
Yeah, definitely. I had this random idea. Sam and I were working on our album, very experimental, just doing whatever we wanted when it came to us. And we loved every moment creating it. And we're like, fuck it. Let's throw a listening party for this unfinished album. Half the album didn't even have vocals on it. But the event was like a success. So they asked us to do it every month, but have artists perform and like have us, but like have anyone you could think of having on. So it's been that since. It's just community, like letting artists who are like more known around here and somebody performing for the first time who I see has energy. So it's all about energy, really, like disruption in a way, like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, chaos brings order.
it does.
Not trying to stagnate. If you're ever getting comfortable, you're not growing, all that kind of stuff. I agree with you. But you're, one post, one night, you understand fashion, and the next night it's almost like you're on, like you're in an extra in SLC Punk. With the hair going crazy. It's like, I made the John Frusciante reference.
Yeah.
And I feel like you understand what I mean by that. For people who don't, I could tell your influence, same as was I think I made a MySpace or a website like way back. It was called like Followers of Frusciante. Like looking back on that. So.
Understood though. He was cool. Like even his solo albums.
Oh man, that was like whenever I found that in high school, I was like, that was whenever I started to like be like, man, these people don't get it. Like all these, I grew up in Port Allen across the river, so it was like, oh, these rednecks don't like understand me. Like I know about like John Frusciante solo albums, and then like back then you had to go to like Barnes and Noble and like scan the CD and get like a sample, like a 30-second
with the headphones, right? Yeah. Wow.
So like that was before I even had the internet and stuff. I was just like doing that, and whenever I could scrape up some money, I would buy as many albums I could. Before the buying albums thing stopped, I had got most of the Red Hot Chili Pepper stuff.
Awesome.
So yeah, those were the days, man.
They were.
I definitely realizing like people release solo albums and stuff like that. That was like.
Yeah, actually being invested in the art is like the most important part about enjoying music. Like, oh yeah, there is a solo album and this guy played drums on it from this.
Just learning and rolling around.
It's so fun. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just purposefully get like a child would, just kind of food, you just, let's put this all in my face. It doesn't make sense, but like it doesn't matter. Yeah. You end up on like America's Funniest Videos and Win Your Family Money and shit. So like it works.
It does.
So
Chaos brings order. Back to that point, I think it does.
Yeah. And I that's kind of how I see you. Like one night you're doing this, one night you're doing that, and it's like I get it. It's really cool, and like breaking the instruments and stuff. Damn, you broke the white Fender, bro.
It was a Squire, but yes, I did break the Fender. I did break it technically. Yeah, I couldn't break the Strat though, like a real Strat body. No way in my life.
But that's always been like a thing. I think with guitar people, regardless, it's always been like, you're not a real artist, can't break your guitar type thing. And then there's other people who are like, these things are sacred, need to be.
They're just instruments. You can get another one.
That's his take, man. That's his take. But you got to okay, so then I remember speaking of Yes We Cannibal, you were playing guitar for Jare.
Yes.
A couple times, and it's like the white Fender, I think you're sitting on top of Marshall, like
that was a Telly, yeah.
Oh, you were doing a Telly that night.
I smashed the Squire.
That's right, you were.
Yeah. Dude. Still Fender though, you're on.
Oh no, I mean a Telecaster, UX18. I have a Telecaster, a 2008 deluxe version. I got it my senior year of high school with like senior money, and like to this day I still use it. I love it.
Best guitar on the market is a Telly, in my opinion.
Well, by the time I got to college and I started getting into like, I got into this band Dead Meadow real deep, and like I fell in love with that twangy beefiness of the Telecaster.
Yeah.
There is like nothing like a sweep pick harmonic wad on a beefy ass Telly.
Yeah, they have a tone to them, and they're great to record. Like the notes come through. Unlike I play Les Paul right now. It's less clear than a Telly would be.
No, Les Paul is more like a
live.
Yeah, it's like a blob of sounds.
Yeah,
there's a specific, very specific sound and tone of that. Yeah, man, been able to chop up talk guitars with anybody in forever. Yeah. Like we were saying, we didn't know which direction it was even going to go. But, I was super into guitars and bands and just doing, like, progressive things, 17 to, like, 25.
Wow.
And I still am.
Yeah, that's like what I'm doing right now.
Exactly. I feel the similar energies. So like, don't stop doing that. Keep doing it. Keep, I dive off into Electric Light Orchestra, and then I dive off into like MGMT, and then I get into Eddie Hazel deep and stuff like that. And like this era right now, this Playbaw thing I got going on, like it's all about going back and trying to find the groove. And I'm back to my roots, man. Truly being myself with confidence. I've done a lot of experimental things in my time, but now it's time to like kind of hone the recipe, and like it's all about just the vibe, the sauce, and it's not as much about like whether I'm switching from 3 to 4 and shit. At this moment, it's really people deserve it.
During quarantine, I would bike, and my friends spin vinyl, and they would put me on all this stuff, and my friends play music, and I listened to a lot of like jazz, funk, groove oriented stuff when I found Eddie Hazel, all that type of stuff.
How'd you find Eddie Hazel?
Maggot brain.
Yeah.
To be honest,
yeah.
I mean, and I just took a shrooms trip, and I put Curtis Mayfield and let like kind of that wave play, and my mind got reset to just like having more compassion and enjoying life a little more. But now I'm at this thing where I'm working on a solo album with like where I actually sing, and I started out making a Sade type song yesterday, but then it just ended up being like I took out all the instruments and kept my vocals in, and I did just synths, like just huge synths. And it's like, yeah, I want to do this groove shit, but like the synths sound really good too. But I think that's the point of an album, to be able to show like
Start evolving.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think there's when you start a project, there's like a number of ways it can go, and it's just about identifying that. Like, I remember back whenever it was all about getting an idea, trying to make some cool, trying to like pursue the idea, and like this and this weren't necessarily as in tune. It was more chaotic, so it was like then you just like kind of end up with something that sounds cool. And my journey was always try to get to that point where that line can get slimmer and slimmer to where I can recreate exactly what I was thinking. I had more control.
Yeah.
But then also, it's like I said, it's kind of like this back and forth. It's like you don't always want to be that way.
Exactly.
Playbaw Podcast.